In this show, is the destiny of Guts controlled by some Bailey or gay friend? Is it like an eclipse showering above? At least it is true that Guts has no control, not even over his own rider. They all died for this. Right, sorry about the double intro, but I wanted to do them both, and I guess people who watch the show will kind of get what I meant to do. Anywho, I will be discussing the final episodes of the Berserk anime, so as you can tell there will be spoilers, but don't go away just yet. Now people who watched and or read the manga will know what I mean when I said I cried at the end of Berserk. Well, I would have, yet my mum came in so I didn't, but nevertheless, my mouth was open in shock. Now the artist, Kentaro Miura, takes ages to make even a single volume, even in a year in fact, but it pays off. Berserk has been credited as the best manga ever, or on more than one occasion, and the anime to a lesser extent. But cliffhanger alert, I've calmed down a lot since the ending of Berserk, because it was so touching and so moving and that, but I found it very selfish of one character. Now I'm going to do a little summary from episode 23. Now spoiler alert. I will say what the spoilers are, etc. and warn you. Now I'm going to start. Episode 23. The Band of the Hawk rescued Griffith from the torture he was suffering through, and then after that they begin to pamper him and make him feel a little more like living, if you can really call being a cripple and cannot move and have no tongue living. Griffith witnesses Casca and Guts being friendly, and Griffith gets jealous. A younger, more agile Griffith appears and yaps on about you need to find this castle blah, so he yanks the horses and chases after it. Naturally they chase after Griffith, but later on Griffith trips up and dismantles off his horse. He sees that he has a broken arm, and what does he do? He laughs very creepily. Is that even a word, creepily? The crimson bayonet is on his fingers. Griffith cuts his neck on some wood, and he calls the God Hand. The army of Midland appear. Everyone is creeped out. Guts touches Griffith, and he is not supposed to. The bayonet changes into a face and begins to yell and cry. The world changes. My thoughts on this? I thought it was very weird. I didn't know what was going to happen, and what was actually going to happen did, but it was a very good setup for what was going to happen next. Now, episode 24. The God Hand appear, and they explain to Griffith he can become all-powerful, omnipotent, and a part of the gods in exchange for his friends. Fear and panic goes throughout the Band of the Hawk. Griffith submits, and the monsters get ready to feed. I think that was totally out of order by Griffith. They saved you, and how did you repay them? With death? What the hell was wrong with you? Now, if this was in real life, of course you'd pick yourself over your friends, but in anime, it just shows him to be the biggest bastard that ever lived. Now, episode 25. Everyone is victim to the God Hand. They go out fighting, but it's not enough, and Femto is born. When I watched this episode for the first time, I kept saying, there has to be a happy end to it. There has to be. It can't end like this. The whole show has been about fighting and blood, and I'm most desensitized from this stuff. But when it happens to the characters who have seen the backstory, and have gotten to like them, even if they are assholes, but you see the characters, you see what they do, it's a very sad, emotional time, and they all get killed, which I think is very silly, but it makes sense in the long run. At least they all got replaced by Puck. But Casca's by Judo's side. She goes down fine, but later on in the manga, they make her very self-aware, and she has been turned into a dumbed-down retardation of her former self. And I don't mean she's stupidly retarded. I mean she won't even let Guts speak to her. But Guts, my man, he goes out fine, kicking the living shit out of all the monsters. But he sees his friend Casca being lowered onto a, quote, pole, and he loses it. A monster grabs his arm. Guts cuts off his own arm to save Casca. Yet claws are there to hold him, and one of the claws actually succeeds in poking out one of his eyes. Femto is born and rapes Casca right in front of Guts. There is a piece of music that plays throughout the entirety of this episode, and it works so well, and it sets the mood incredibly. It has the same bit in the music that's used over and over in the scary pieces of music. Pure gold. There ends the Great Eclipse. Now, if there were a 26th episode that was made, the Skull Knight could have shown up and saved them, and that would have been cool. That would have been like a solid ending showing that the good guys made out safe. Or put episode 1 as episode 25. You know, it would sort of clear up a few things. A new season has been predicted for a long time. Hopefully it's true, but they have more money to do it now. But this was a very good anime with a lot following. I just wanted to give my views on this and make people watch Berserk and then come watch this video. Woo! Well, I guess that's all I can say. Now I can say, see you next video.